Hi guys, and welcome to part 3 of the book treat trilogy, which is very hard for me to say without getting it wrong, believe you me. And lastly we have, but no means least, we have original graphic novel hardback edition with a lovely dust jacket on it. The Giant, Orson Welles, The Artist and the Shadow by Youssef Odi. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Many apologies to the gentleman himself if I haven't pronounced that correctly. So we're going to have a little look at this. I'm a big Orson Welles fan, and when I saw a copy of this that somebody had, and I think they bought it and had a look at it, but it wasn't quite what they wanted, so I was able to pick that up. As an Orson Welles fan, I thought I'm not going to pass up not being able to get a copy of this. I was intrigued by the whole idea of Orson Welles' cinematic life in graphic novel form. So let's have a little look. We'll start by taking off the dust jacket and having a little look at the book itself. So let's pop that to one side. So there we go, and that's the book itself, with the swirling mists of Orson Welles' cigar there, and that carries on to the back of the book design. It's quite a thick graphic novel. There we go. So let's have a little look inside and have a look at the art. Go from there. We got some Orson Welles credits at the back, filmography unfinished, other credits, some design bits there, a graphic novel about Orson Welles. Here we go. There have been numerous books written about Orson Welles, but graphic novels exploring his story are relatively scarce. Even if all the books in the world attempted to capture the complexities, contradictions and paradoxes of such an extraordinary individual, a graphic novel would fall even shorter. However, since my first venture into this medium, I have been continuously fascinated by the limitless narrative tools it offers. I was certain that Orson Welles himself, a giant of cinema, theatre and radio, would feel right at home within its pages. That's by the author, and obviously that goes on to explain even more about the graphic novel. If you want a happy ending, that depends of course on where you stop the story. As I say, I haven't read this yet myself. Literally, I've only recently managed to acquire and pick this up, so it will be completely new to me as to the interpretation of Orson Welles as a character, as a filmmaker, as a person. It looks as if it's going through some of the main highlights of his filmatic career. So yes, I'm pleased that I picked this up. The art style of it is actually very good. I quite like the way that this is being presented. This is also a book on very nice card stock paper. It's a very solid production, very solid book. So yes, I'm very pleased to have picked that up, and yeah, absolutely joyed to pick that up. Page count wise, we're looking at about a 300 page, just short of 300 pages. So we're up to page 253 there, and then there's about a 260 page book. All in all, thereabouts. Yep, just short of, or just over 260 pages. So it's going through. Yep, there we go. We've got Touch of Evil, and if I had to pick out my top Orson Welles film, Touch of Evil is my favourite, even ahead of Citizen Kane. There's just something about Touch of Evil which is like no other film. Even when it was released in obviously the cut edition that the studios released before we even got the revised edition, it's just such a fantastic film. And Wells himself is brilliant in the film as Hank Quinlan. So there we go. Such a larger than life character, but even just looking through it as I am now, just looking at it, I think it looks like a lot of work and a lot of research has gone into producing this graphic novel, and I'm very pleased with it. It looks like it's going to be, as a long time Orson Welles fan, I think this is going to be very very good. I'm very pleased to have picked this up. It looks like it's been very well researched and very much a labour of love when it's come to the actual making of it. So yeah, I think this is, if I had to pick out a best book of the year so far that I picked up and felt, yes, that was really worth me getting and making sure that I had a copy in my library and something that I really wanted to read, then I would probably say this is probably the best thing I've bought book-wise the whole year so far. I know we're only into March, but I'm so pleased to have got a copy of this. That yeah, I think that is a fantastic graphic novel, and really looking forward to reading that. We'll just take another look quickly at the dust jacket. There we go, and we have the author himself there. Comic artist and illustrator living in France. He worked as an art director for multinational advertising firms for 15 years before committing himself to writing and drawing graphic novels, including his graphic biographies of jazz musician Thelonious Monk. Again, I don't know, I'm not the best person to pronounce things. Boxer Jack Johnson, Last on His Feet, with poetic verse by Adrian Matujenka. There we go, and there is a website for the author, so if you want to freeze that, you can go to his website and check up his other works. There we go. There we go, and we've just got a little bit of a bio bit in the interior jacket. Long after Orson Welles' death in 1985, his shadow still looms over Hollywood. By 23, Welles had founded his own theatre company and revolutionised radio with the infamous broadcast of The War of the Worlds. By 25, he had secured his place in history with his debut film Citizen Kane. Yet 4 films and less than a decade later, his career suffered spectacular collapse. Welles, one of the most promising directors in America, was written off as a would-be genius, a bad bet in an increasingly money-conscious industry. It would be many years before his later works, such as Touch of Evil and The Other Side of the Wind, received widespread acclaim. So how does a boy wonder from Kenosha, Wisconsin, amount to so much and yet so little? And if his artistic ambitions were thwarted, where does the blame truly lie? In The Giant, Yosef Daodai, again, sorry if I mispronounce that, weaves together reality and mythology to create a radical new look at one of Hollywood's most legendary figures. He poses the question as timeless as Orson Welles himself: what happens when a true artist comes up against the rest of the world? sorry, there's sort of phasing in and out of thing there. Do apologise. Okay, so there we have it. That was book number 3 in the book trilogy that I recently purchased for myself. And there we go. So let's pop those together in a moment and see all 3 at the end. So there we have all 3 books in my book treat trilogy. 3 books that I bought recently over the course of the last month or so. And I hope that you enjoyed having a look through these the same as I did. Obviously, with the Orson Welles one, that was the first time I had time to look through that one. And same with the Escape from New York, because it was still sealed. So those were genuinely the first times that I've actually had chance to look through those. I had a little look through the Kirby one before I did the video. So because that one was unsealed. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed the videos. Please like, subscribe, so you can see more comic book related videos and film videos. Plus, of course, we have my haul videos when I go out and about with my wife to charity shop hunting and find films and TV shows that we're interested in. So please like and subscribe for those. And also for the collection videos. Hopefully, I hope to get back at some point to doing the show and tell videos where I pull something from the collection and show you something that I bought many years ago, and sort of waffle on like I am now about why I enjoyed buying it and the reasons why I like it. Anyway, enough for that now, and please again like, subscribe to the channel, and I hope that you'll join us for another video. Bye for now.
My name is Orson Welles. This is
Make it up as you go along.
production.
In association with Dick Powers Presents.